It made me emotional seeing how much of an impact I made within 3 years. I realized the connections, impressions, even the smallest compliment. Everything I did within the gates of that school made a long-lasting respect for my name. That is a journal entry I wrote in 2023 on impact. First impression is last. I will be talking in terms of acquaintances or an outer circle, people who you really protect your reputation for, just to give some context, because I realized I need to start giving context if I'm going to start talking about these sorts of things. So I wish to the people who have a bad perception of me, I'm sorry. I'm sorry that you had a bad first impression of me. People, the people who don't really know me, again, talking outer circle. People will make their first impression of you in the first 5 seconds. They judge you the second they see you. They're gonna look at your clothes. They're gonna look at your hair. They're gonna look at your face. Do you have makeup on? Do you have your hair done? Do your clothes look nice? Or do your shoes look okay? People will judge you the second they see you. They want to see if they can get something out of you. That's what it is. And I am so sorry if I'm the villain in your story. I genuinely am, because I must have said something or done something the first time we met, and subconsciously, that is the way you perceive me for the rest of the time you know me. It's something I have had to come to terms with. I will not always succeed to make the impression I want to make. I wish that, when I would speak to someone and I realized, oh no, we're not really vibing, this isn't going good, I wish that I can just go back and have a do-over. I don't want people to think I'm not a reliable person. I don't want people to think that I'm not a loyal person, that I am not a good person to be around. I will always watch my tongue when I'm around, these other people. Your reputation is the single most thing that determines your life. You start making a bad reputation now, what do you think is going to happen when you need to go apply for a job? I'm talking to my youth. I'm talking to the people that I will be working with. What do you think is going to happen? What do you think is going to happen? You walk into a job interview, you starting doing social media and you want to do something like this. You think people are going to take you seriously if you're just going to sit in front of a camera in sweatpants with your hair all messy and you look like a mess and you're trying to give people advice? No one's going to take you seriously. What's up, everyone? My name is Mannat. I'm one of the hosts for the Ascetic Mind podcast, and as we can tell, my Anna is not with me today. She is out, but we both agreed that I would do a filler episode because the world stops for nobody. And I decided to start this with a quote that I heard in a business convention I attended back in February. Becoming someone is being in a position to impact others' lives positively. Being in a position to help others gives you purpose. Now, why is this relevant to what I was saying? When we talk about making an impact, we talk about leaving a mark on a good cause. Now, that mark can only be impactful if there's a pure intention behind it. And the people are going to be the ones who determine if that intention is pure. And that can only be if you have a good reputation. I understand that, people change, for sure. People change. I change every month, so if you tell someone a story about me from last month, sorry, not relative anymore, don't know who that was. I understand people change, things change, but you have to take accountability. Anna and I were talking, she really wants to do a thing on accountability, so I'm not going to get too into it, but you have to take accountability for your actions. You have to take accountability for the things that, people see you do, the things people hear you do. Because again, 5 seconds, that's all it takes for anyone to decide whether or not they want to be associated with you. I'm going to be real with you. Whenever I am, meeting someone for the first time, I am thinking, how could I be of use to this person? How could this person be of use to me? Because I want to surround myself with so much good energy that people just think I am the sun. That I am a ball of sunshine, but really it's just the people around me who make me really happy to be me. I'm not talking that, oh, what can I get out of this person? What secrets? What money? I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about, what can I learn from them? What can they learn from me? What can they offer me, and what can I offer them? What can we do to make a better community for each other? I think Anna was saying in the first podcast that if people don't trust each other, it's really hard for there to be a good community. And that she said that, and I was like, oh, okay, girl. Here, let me put Anna in some hearts. She was telling me when I said that, I thought you would put me in like majestic sounds or whatever, and I'm like, I should have done that. So now I'm gonna do it. Here's Anna in some stars. Anyway, but people will be people, and we all really need to get it together and acknowledge the fact that we need each other. What happened to delegation? What happened to delegating tasks to one another? What happened to, healthy criticism? People are so offended by criticism these days. Has anyone else noticed that? Or am I just, out of my head? Have I not slept in enough hours? Like, people don't want to accept criticism. I was talking about this with my uncle. Again, same uncle that I was talking about last podcast. I was talking with him about it. People don't like taking in criticism. Now, me, whenever someone tells me I didn't like that you did that, or don't do that again, or I think you could have done this better, I'm like, okay, thank you. I will make sure to put that into effect, because I'm constantly trying to better myself. I'm telling you, if you tell someone a story about me from last month, sorry, not relevant anymore. I don't know who that was. Constantly evolving. And so this is a really long time ago. I had a conversation with my uncle. We were driving home, and I was telling him I had an encounter with this girl, and I was telling her, I don't know what I was telling her. It was something petty, middle school. I don't know. And I was telling my uncle, that she don't want to do this, and then she started getting all mad at me, and I didn't really know what was happening, and then I just kind of stood back, and he said, I remember he told me, people don't want to hear things anymore. People don't want to hear the hard truths anymore. And that stuck really deeply to me. I'm like, is this really how my generation is going to grow up to be? That we just can't trust each other anymore? Is that really how it's going to be? Is this really what, that's it? We're not going to be free of this coachability game? Humans are meant to evolve. We are not meant to just take one theory and have our entire life centered around it. We are meant to change and grow and outgrow. And people have just lost the ability to constructively think. And that, again, goes hand in hand into accountability. You don't want to take accountability for your actions. You don't want to get up in the morning. You don't want to work out. You don't want to be better. You don't want to study. You don't want to go to work. You don't want to do anything that you're supposed to do. And that is destroying our community. Can't you people see that? Wake up. Every little decision you make, you're not just impacting yourself, you are impacting your society. You are a member of society. If you are going to be a member of society, do it functionally. If you're not going to take this seriously, go. There are people waiting. You are privileged. You have a roof over your head, you have food on the table, you have books, you have pencils, you have notebooks, you have your mind, you have thoughts, you have access to a plethora of online encyclopedias. What do you mean you're not going to do anything? What do you mean there's nothing for you to do? What do you mean you can't find a passion? And I think that's also a thing people don't realize. It's a privilege to have this drive. I learned that recently. I was like, I get so frustrated if I don't do something, if one of my projects don't work out, or oh my goodness, I couldn't work out this morning. Oh my gosh, I didn't wake up on time. I get so frustrated if I'm not functioning like I'm supposed to. You know why? Because I have this drive to succeed. And it's not just a drive like, oh, I want to be successful, and I want to be this, and I want to be that, and I want to be all great. No. I want to be a functional member of society that builds a good community. And I I don't know how people are just going about living their everyday lives and just coming home, playing their games and, doing nothing. Maybe I'll cheat on a test. Oh my goodness. The amount of students, even I'm guilty of this, everyone's guilty of this. Do you know how reliant the school system is on AI now? Do you have the slightest idea? Why are you taking advantage of your education? Why are we doing that? That thought just hit me like a brick. There are so many people who would kill to have this education, who would kill to be able to go to school, to read a book. So many people don't know how to read. And here the answers are sitting right in front of us. All we have to do is reach to the table, grab the envelope, and read the map. Why are we doing this to ourselves? If you don't want to be a functional member of society, you're trying to get into this sort of conversation and class. That's what I'm going to call this. You're trying to get into this sort of class where you are part of, I would say I'm trying to get into high society, that's kind of sort of what I'm meaning. You're trying to get into this higher class. If you're not going to do it properly, don't do it at all. There are people waiting. Get out of the way. Move. Leave. I don't want you here. I don't want to work with you. If you're not going to do it properly, I don't want you. The next person in line don't want you. The people higher up, if I don't want you, they're not going to want you. That's how high my standard is. Leave it to the people who want it the most. People want it more than you. Oh my gosh, I get so stressed thinking that there's someone out in the world who thinks they want it more than me. No. Absolutely not. So this is going to be my last point. If you're not going to do it properly, don't do it at all. The moment your mindset changes is the moment everything changes. The second you realize you only get to live this life one time, do you understand how much perception will change? Like tomorrow morning you could wake up and suddenly everything's just dysfunctional. Tomorrow morning you may not even wake up. Why are you taking your life for granted? Why are you playing with the game of time? You don't understand what you have until you don't have it anymore. And I think that's crazy that some people just haven't had that big of a loss yet. What do you mean? What do you mean? When your phone broke for the first time, did you not understand how it felt to not be connected to the world for the first time? Like, what is wrong with you? Get out. Get out of the way. Make room for the people who want it the most. And if not, they're just going to jump over you. They're going to climb over you, and you're going to stay in the trenches where you belong. You want to make an impact so badly? Do it with pure intention. Do not just sit there. Don't just think that everything's going to fall into place, because it's not. No one's coming to save you. No one's coming to save you. And Anna and I, we talked about it, like, we want to build a community that is so idealistically broad when it comes to these sorts of things. I don't want to live in this society. I don't want to live in a community where there's no trust, where we can't rely on each other, where we can't delegate things, where we can't trust people with our delegated tasks. I don't want to live in that sort of community. I don't want to live in that sort of society. I want to be up here. And I want everyone to be up here with me. That may not be an idealistic situation, but that's my goal. That's where I'm aiming, and I will do everything I can in my power to make that happen. So, that is my first filler episode. I didn't realize how difficult this would be without Anna. Usually when I start running out of words and I'll just Anna and I have our little hand signals and stuff. I'll give her and she'll just pick up where I left off. I realize how much I appreciate Anna doing this with me. Oh my goodness. Talking to a camera alone in a room, do you guys know how crazy I feel right now? But it's okay. Anything to keep this going. So, we will catch you in our next episode of the Ascetic Mind podcast. Until then, welcome to the show.